What's up guys, Doomsday here. Today we're back again, and in this video we're going to be playing some Wukong in the jungle. So originally I actually wasn't planning on uploading any Wukong gameplay, but this match turned out to be super exciting, so I thought I'd still just upload it anyways. But I was just looking to climb up with Wukong. Wukong is probably my top pick when looking to climb with. I think he's pretty solid even in solo queue. Your ultimate is just so impactful, and landing a good ultimate can really just carry entire team fights. And I think that's one of the strong things about him, is that he's one of the junglers that's actually strong in team fights. Because a lot of junglers, especially the assassin-based ones, they do lack a bit of team fighting potential. And I was getting a bit of lag, so I thought I'd just switch to data for this match. But starting off with a normal clear, clearing off my red buff. And working my way around. But looking at the lane matchups, we have a bit of a awkward duo lane. For some reason, somebody felt like playing Lee Sin support, even though I offered him jungle, but he really wanted to support Lee Sin, so we have that going on the top side. And then Katarina in the mid lane. So actually, Katarina is one of the main reasons why I picked Wukong in this matchup, because overall, Wukong does pretty solid into Katarina because you can stun him, or you can knock him up out of their ultimate, so that can help you a bunch. But keeping an eye out on Fiora. I know Fiora's probably on this side of the map. I see that Seraphine just flashes away. And now I know that Fiora is on this side of the map, so what do? I get the scuttle as fast as I can. Notice what I do. I push it away from the Fiora. So if you didn't know, the scuttle always runs away from you. So as you can see, I'm kind of veering it away from the Fiora. That way, if the Fiora does come this way, then they won't be able to reach it. So now I know Seraphine has no flash, and I engage onto this. I'm willing to flash for it because I know, again, Seraphine burnt flash earlier. The Lee Sin with a dive that did not work out, unfortunately. But I saw that Fiora ended up going to the bottom side of the map. So I know that they're taking that bottom side scuttle right now, and that they're probably just clearing their blue side jungle. So that's something to really keep in mind. I'm really trying to warn this Darius that Fiora is in the area. Like, Fiora is on their blue side jungle for sure. So if you think about it, and as you can see, they worded it up there, which is good. Because the only lanes that Fiora can gank are either the mid lane or that bot side over there, where the Darius is. So now I'm trying to farm up to level 5. A really good thing that I could do, actually, is get level 5 and then look to re-gank this top lane. And the reason for that is that Seraphine won't have flash up for another, like, 2 minutes still. So if I can get a good gank on that top lane, unfortunately our duo actually reset it, or at least the Ashe reset it, so I was not able to get that angle. But as you can see, Fiora did try and go for that gank on the bot side, but the ward did catch him, so they're able to be safe. So now I'm just telling this Yasuo they might need to be a bit careful. But I see this Fiora is still pushing on the bot side, so actually what do? I start to rotate to the enemy jungle, and the reason for that is I know that these raptors, they spawn up at about 3 minutes or so. So I actually think that they're up, and right now I'm a bit confused, and then I see him respawning, so I'm able to get this. And while I am taking this, it is a bit risky. I do see Fiora is still on the bot side, so I know it's actually safe now. But if Fiora did reset and the Katarina rotated, I would just have to instantly just ditch the camp and then just leave, because I probably would have died if I just stayed and they both collapsed onto me. But now I see that they're still fighting on this bot side over here, and I have my ultimate up, and I'm actually looking to go for this fight over here. And another good reason is that look at this Yasuo. This Yasuo is super pushed up, so if he wanted, he could have actually rotated with me, but doesn't look like he's going to rotate. Now, a really key thing to notice here is that the Fiora used their counter ability, and the Camille also used their jump. And that's really crucial, so now I'm pinging this Yasuo to rotate, and as you can see, he kind of wasted his ultimate there. He definitely didn't need ultimate that, and I kind of lag out a bit, so that's a bit unfortunate. If he would have held his ultimate until I knocked up the Katarina and then ulted the Katarina, we might have actually been able to even pick up more kills there, but it's okay. So now the dragons just spawned, and the downside is that I did just use my ultimate to pick up a kill, so I won't have my ultimate up, and that's something to definitely keep in mind. Let's see if this Darius can pick up the kill here. He does get a good hook in and does pick up the kill. So now I'm looking to go towards this top side of the map where the dragon is. I have no idea why Ashe stepped up that far. When playing champs like Ashe or like Jhin that have like super low mobility and are really squishy, you really have to watch your position, because you can get caught off guard so easily. So I get a decent amount of burst onto the Fiora, and I see that the Fiora is super low now, so I'm actually like pinging, let's try and rush this dragon if we can. If we can get 4 people onto this, but unfortunately it looks like the Yasuo just dove in mid lane, and looks like this Lee Sin would rather fight the Ezreal, so I tried to switch onto the Ezreal, and I unfortunately get baited. That was such a broken... the Ezreal got both a heal and a barrier, so that just made it so much harder to kill, unfortunately. That did not work out. But it's fine, we're still in this. Although he did just give up a couple kills and probably the dragon. This Darius is getting first turret, which is huge because this Darius is getting really fed right now. So as you can see, the Camille rotated to the dragon. The Darius got the first turret. So that does give us a decent amount of gold at least. And that's pretty solid. But I remember how earlier when I first made that engage onto the Fiora and Camille, it was really key to notice that the Fiora used their counter ability because that can actually block off the knock-up from your ultimate. So for instance, if you dive onto a Fiora and then you ultimate, but then they counter it, you don't get the knock-up and you lose a lot of value from your damage and everything. So it's just really key to make sure that that doesn't happen. And same with the Camille, but the Camille used their dash and kind of wasted it. And without a dash on Camille, it's pretty hard to gap close and to stay onto targets. So we're able to pick up the Herald there, which is good. And I'm pretty comfortable fighting on this bottom side of the map because I know that I can get the Darius's help. And again, this Darius is pretty far ahead. He's doing pretty well. So now, I see that they're pushing up really far in this top side. And I see this Ezreal here. See if the support is around. The support is right over there too. The Katarina shows up too, and I kind of just gotta dip out of that. For some reason, there's 3 of them over here. That Katarina rotate kind of did catch me off guard. So now, at least the Yasuo's on his way, and at this point, I kind of realized the Lee Sin is kind of done for the match, which is classic Diamond Lee Sin players. So the Ashe went down. Let's see if the Yasuo... Ooh, the Yasuo was able to pick up 2 kills there. That's pretty good at least, because at least if the Yasuo gets fed, then they can deal way more damage, which is solid. But at this point in the match, I'm kind of realizing that it's kind of the Yasuo and the Darius that's going to be really fed this match, because they've been getting a lot of kills, and Darius has gotten a lot of turret gold. So that's pretty big, but now I'm just farming up my jungle. Essentially just waiting for the next dragon to respawn. And, ooh, actually, when clearing your jungle, a good tip on how to clear it just a little bit faster. It's not, like, the biggest thing, but every second really matters. Like, let's see. There's actually an engage going on over here. Let's see if I could do anything. Oh, there's a heal. Oh, if yours one shot, I bet I can't get to him. That's so unfortunate. But now I'm trying to see if I can get the Seraphine. I see the Seraphine's trying to step up again, but they're just out of range. So, actually, I'm not able to. And I kind of just got to squirm my way out of there. And now both me and the Yasuo were one shot. So I'm like, I'm kind of just going to reset. I think Yasuo probably should reset too, but it looks like he's trying to stay. So over here, they're trying to surrender, but we could still see if maybe this is winnable. Because we do have some pretty strong late game champs with Yasuo and Darius. Both of those can just completely pop off with good ultimates. So now I'm seeing if I can get onto that Seraphine. I cannot. So, kind of just back off again. This Fiora goes a bit far for me. But now I see the Yasuo and the Ashe are both on their way back. So, I'm looking for an engage, if I can get a good engage. I do have my ultimate up. So, now the Yasuo dives right on in. And I'm actually keeping a really close eye on this Katarina. Because if that Katarina dives onto all 3 of us and uses their ultimate, it is my job to be able to knock Katarina out of that ultimate with my own ultimate. So, that's just something I was really keeping an eye on, but unfortunately, our Darius goes down here. I'm able to land a good ultimate. And the Yasuo was able to chain his 2. Sadly, the Camille dashes away, so I do have to follow up Flash, but it's okay. But as I was saying, a pretty good tip on how to clear your jungle a little bit faster is actually, if you didn't know, when you use your clone ability, it also mimics when you use your other abilities. So if you clone and then use your first ability, both you and your clone will both use the first ability. And it'll do more damage than if just you use your first ability. So that's just a really good tip. on how to clear your jungle faster, because if you clone first and then use your first ability, you'll pretty much be getting 2 first abilities onto the monster or whatever. And same with your third ability damage too, is if you clone first and then use your third ability and your first ability, then it's going to deal way more damage. So now I'm just backing off a bit here. I can't really 1v1 a Camille. The Camille just used their jump actually, so they don't have the most mobility, and you can kind of see they're kind of forced to back off because of that. So now I'm saying, let's try and get this dragon here. We're able to pick up the Fiora, so that's good. Darius is looking for the hook. He gets a solid hook. And now I do get ulted, and I knock the Katarina out of their ultimate. But looks like I barely go down to that Seraphine. That Seraphine has been so obnoxious this entire match. I can never get in range to get onto them, and they just keep on poking me down. It is a bit annoying, but we are able to pick up the kills there, and now it looks like we're able to get this first tier mid turret also. And getting this first tier mid turret is huge because it's going to open up the map so much, and we'll see that in the next few minutes that with this turret gone, we can push up really far. And that's going to be huge. So now this Darius, looking for the play, and he is able to turn that around, which is good. As you can see, Darius' ultimate just does so much damage when you're ahead. So now I'm just farming back up. I see that they're trying to go for this Yasuo. Maybe I could save him here. Let's see if I can get there in time. He lands a good ultimate, and I'm able to show back up. And looks like everybody's just going to back off. Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to back off. I'm going to go for this Ezreal. Ooh, am I able to get out of this, though? Ooh, that was a nice heal by Ashe. That was pretty clutch. Plus, the arrow kind of screwed up the Seraphine. So that was good. And now we can look for this Herald here. I see the Seraphine again, but again, I can't really get in range of him. So at this point, I'm just going to take this Herald and then wait for my teammates to come back. And I see this Yasuo here, and I'm really trying to follow up with this Yasuo, because if I can set him up with a good ultimate, that can completely carry a fight like that. So we're able to delete 2 with that. Seraphine's here, and I'm finally able to get onto him for once. Let's see if I can kill him. Thankfully, I am able to get that, and now I'm on the run. I still have my flash up, but I don't want to waste it if I don't have to, so I kind of let them do their thing, and I realized I could just shop the Herald here, and we could take this turret and then push for the inhib turret. Because we just picked up 4 kills there. So now, we get the inhib turret with that, and they're still down for another 10 seconds or so. Darius flashed and goes for the pull, and I'm thinking maybe we can get this kill on the Katarina, but we all step just one step too far, and that's pretty unfortunate. I don't think we would have been able to end there, but we definitely shouldn't have died. That was a pretty big mistake. But yeah, if you step into the enemy base, it completely just destroys you. So now we all kind of go down here. We overstayed. But really, again, for this match, it's really just key for me to be able to play around the Yasuo and Darius and really set them up well. Since they're going to be the ones dealing the most amount of damage, like I'm not going to be deleting an entire team in a 4v5. It's going to be the Yasuo ults or the Darius ults that's going to be able to just get like quadra kills and triple kills all the time. So I really just need to play for them. And then the Ashe can kind of play support too with their ultimate and slows and stuff. So I see they're pushing this mid turret and trying to get onto this Katarina. Sadly, they're just out of range. Plus the Seraphine is there, so don't want to overextend without the Yasuo and Darius. But now we're kind of just looking for a pick to see if we can catch anybody out of position, and they overstep a bit here. Looks like the Yasuo was able to 1v1 the Katarina, which is pretty solid, and now I go back onto this Camille. Let's see if I'm able to pick him up. I have to waste the flash again to get onto him, but we're still able to pick that up. So that was a pretty good turnaround. We traded 1 for 2 there, which is solid. But now I'm just farming this up, and now the dragon's actually spawning, and I see that the Darius is putting a lot of pressure on the bot side of that map, so I know they're going to have to go and stop him. And then there's the Fiora here, so I'm actually like, we should just take this fight at the dragon. I have my ultimate up, and I think me and Ashe can both deal with a Fiora. Now, the biggest problem here would be that it ends up being a smite battle, so whoever gets the smite off is going to get it, and that's something I'm being super cautious of. And notice I'm holding all of my abilities until it gets really low, and then I just burst it straight down from 1500 to 0. And that's really key to be able to hold your abilities so you can burst it down like that. That way you don't accidentally lose the dragon to like a smite battle or something like that. So that's pretty solid. But now I'm just pushing up waves here. The Fiora tries to get onto me, but the clone, really good escape on Wukong. And now it looks like they might be able to get this turret here, but thankfully Yasuo shows up to defend. The Darius does go down, but it's still fine because we already got the dragon, so there isn't too many objectives up for him. And this Yasuo is going in pretty deep, but notice what happened here. I waited for the Fiora to use their to use their counter, and then I land the ultimate onto him. Because imagine how it would have gone if I would have just dove in and then ultimate when they're in their counter. I would have just wasted an entire charge of my ultimate, and that would have made it so it doesn't set up for the Yasuo ult. So now I'm trying to step out a bit. We are able to pick up a kill here, but doesn't look like we're going to be able to get anything else. So now probably should just dip out of here. So I'm kind of pinging we should definitely back off. But the Yasuo is still around, and at this point I'm like, I can't really help you. I'm just going to go off and take their entire jungle. But for this match, I actually did build Locket. I decided that we definitely needed some sort of team utility. And I think Locket would work very well, given barriers to the Yasuo or the Darius would be completely huge. And I don't know how this Yasuo ended up winning this, but looks like the rest of the enemy team actually backed off at the wrong time and kind of just left their Katarina out there. So now Lee Sin's back. They're farming up a Gromp. I don't know what their plan is, but that's pretty good. So we're looking good this match now. We have a pretty decent lead, saying for most of the match we were just 5v4 or 4v5. And really, it just all comes down to taking the right fights. So really the key thing for us was fighting when both I have my ultimate up and Yasuo has his ultimate up. And we can keep on looking for a pick or two each time and then look for an objective when we have the chance. And then Darius has kind of been doing his own thing and landing ultimates whenever he can. So now we're able to pick up this Baron here. And taking the Scuttle, probably should reset after this. I do have a lot of gold to spend. So hopefully that's what I do, but it looks like I'm actually just sticking with this Darius. No, I actually see the Yasuo fighting, and I'm like, I should probably help him a bit. But looks like he goes down a bit early, unfortunately. So now, just trying to knock him up for the Darius over here. Let's see what the Darius can do. And I notice I'm dead at this point, but what do? I just run to the lane because look at these empowered minions. They're damaging Camille quite a decent amount. So I got Camille down to about half health, which is pretty solid, and that did buy a lot of time for Darius, so they were able to clean that up. But that's a really good thing you could do when you do get low and you know that you can't win. Just try and put down as much damage as you can. And in that case, it was really using the Baron buffed minions because those do a lot of damage. So I kind of just kited back to the lane. But looks like our team's able to end here, and this match turned out pretty well, although it was a 4v5, and I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Hope you all enjoyed the Wukong gameplay, and I'll see y'all in the next video.